Russia says it has pulled back some units from the border of Ukraine as a sign of potential de-escalation as the German chancellor arrives in Moscow today for last-minute talks. A top Russian defense official says units in the south and west that conducted drills just this morning have already begun loading onto rail and road transport and will begin moving to their military garrisons today, end quote. But the small drawdown would still leave more than 100,000 troops amassed near the border, and those troops continue conducting large-scale military maneuvers. Yesterday, the Pentagon took suggestions of a diplomatic path and potential de-escalation with a grain of salt.
We've seen them conduct these exercises in recent days. Exercises are designed to make you ready. He continues to do the things that you would expect one to do if one was planning on a major military action, and that is to sharpen the readiness and to add to the capabilities of his force.
The defense secretary is traveling today to NATO and to Poland and Lithuania, two of the eastern flank countries where U.S. troops are stationed. The Ukrainian National Guard is protecting the U.S. Embassy building in Kyiv, which has relocated closer to Poland. The White House has assembled a so-called Tiger team across agencies to game out possible responses to dozens of potential scenarios on behalf of the Russians. Deputy National Security Advisor John Feiner tells the Washington Post, quote, "Our hope is still that we never have to use the playbook, but this is all about making sure we are ready to go if and when we have to be." Meanwhile, commercial and real estate activity in Ukraine is all but frozen. A local attorney telling me the economy is on standby mode there until the situation is clear. Becky?
Kayla, where should we be watching for the next clues? I mean, is this just things getting leaked to the Russian media wires, the news services there? Is this something else that we can predict at this point?
I think there are two things to watch for, Becky. Number one, the satellite imagery, which is going to be key to determining whether, in fact, those Russian forces have actually gone back to their barracks, which the U.S. has said would, in fact, be a sign of potential de-escalation. And to what extent is the actual full force that President Putin has amassed near the border actually beginning to shrink when President Putin has made some of these claims in recent months, in May and in January? The satellite imagery did not really show a material change in the force there. And so there is real skepticism among officials as to whether this is any real change. The second thing to watch for is whether there is any return to formal diplomacy, whether there are talks between NATO and Russia, Russia and the U.S., Russia and Ukraine. So far, we've had what is called shuttle diplomacy, where you have single leaders going to meet with President Putin individually or getting on the phone with him. But there has been no real multilateral discussion in the better part of a month on that front. So I think a return in that forum would be important to watch for as well, Becky.